Well, hi there. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here for a while, been rocking out with me over the years, whether I've been hitting and missing in action here and there, thank you for hanging in there with me. I want to say today is going to be the day that we talk about rebuilding your life. We talk about second chances. Because I feel like this is the space where second chances they do bloom and new chapters they begin. And so I want to bring to you a couple of, I would say, strategies that could help you along the journey because I don't know exactly where you are in this space if you're over 50 and you may have discovered that what you thought life would be like before, it's not like that now. And so you have to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and start all over. Okay. So I wrote a few things down because I didn't want to ramble on, but I wanted to first tell you a little bit about myself if you're new to my page. Okay. My life has been a whirlwind, and I'm quite sure you probably had your time or two of going through some things. And so I went through a process of thinking that my life was okay. I was married and had the children and all of that, the home, and life took a turn. I ended up having to start my life all over again. Had to relocate to a new place, a new state, right? And along with moving to a new state, I had to learn my way around, find new friends, get involved within the community in a different way because, hey, no one knew me here. So I had to start all over. And I want to give my own self a shout out for going back to school to get my master's degree to help me, do some different things in my life. And so I feel as though that's more of a reason why my heart is so tied into helping women and assisting powerful women like yourself to figure out, well, okay, how do I start over after everything has fallen apart? I know that it's something that's kind of like organic because you have no other choice. If everything has shifted in your life, you just can't say, well, okay, forget it. I'm not going to change. You must change with the times. You must be in that place of having confidence to know that you can do it, that you can make it in spite of what has happened. And therefore, I'm going to talk about 3 points in rebuilding your life, right? Being on a solid foundation, not kind of like teeter tottering and being confused about which way you're going to go. I want to give you a couple of points that helped me out along my journey because can I tell you that it was 14 years I was married and things just shifted in my life. And I know, hey, I don't want to bore you with more time of telling you about all the tragic things that has happened, but you get the picture. And therefore, I had to move on. And when I had to move on, I had to make a conscious decision to first be confident. Be confident in knowing that the bottom's not going to fall out. I mean, what else could happen? Everything that could have possibly happened, it did happen. Me having to start over, me having to meet new friends, being afraid. A lot of times people don't talk about that. They just want to tell you how to get over. But what about the fear? What about the intimidation that you feel or being embarrassed or ashamed of having to pivot in your life? And especially at 50 plus years old, I mean, you would think, oh, by now we should be settled. Everything should be already mapped out on which way we're going to go. But again, life just doesn't always work out the way that we planned on it to work out. And therefore, you got to get your confidence back. I was talking to a young lady and she was saying she didn't have confidence anymore because of all the things that happened. She lost her husband. He passed away years ago and now she's like stuck in a rut. She doesn't want to go anywhere by herself or do anything. And my answer to that was, well, what are you going to do? You're going to just sit there and die your dreams, your goals, all of that is going to be stagnant because of the fact that you no longer want to move forward in your life. He's already gone on. He's passed away, but she still had a lot of life to live. And I wanted to encourage her and encourage a lot of women that although things did not work out, and this particular young lady was dealing with someone who had died. How about the death of a marriage? How do you handle that? because it's still like a death. Although that person is walking around, there was a death of what you thought your life would look like. Therefore, we have to make peace with our past. Make peace with it. Look at the what's left of it and turn around and keep walking forward. To me, that's the best way to make it. And it's the best way of revenge is to be successful. Success means a lot of things to different people, right? You can be successful just because you have money, but you can be successful because you have accomplished something that you may have been fearful of doing. And when you get into a place of complacency and you feel as though you have life all figured out, when the bottom falls out, you have to get some confidence and know that you are not alone, that there is a tribe out there that has gone through maybe worse than what you've gone through. You might have kind of escaped even more turmoil that could have taken you down. You could have lost your mind. There could have been so many other things that could have derailed your life, but yet you're still standing. And look at you. You're still powerful. You're powerful with the man. You're powerful without the man. You're powerful with the house. You're powerful without the house. You must believe that you still have what it takes to make it through. As we comb through all of the different types of videos that are being made, people love to share with you their triumph. They love to show you when they're on the top. But what happens when you're on the bottom and you're sharing how you got back up on your feet? When I say I lost everything, I lost everything. Had to start life over. Yes, I had some savings, but my point to the story is I know that there are women out there who are not really telling anyone. They're suffering in silence. The pain and the shame of not maybe having two nickels to rub together, but they look like they got it together and they probably don't. So I want to allow you the space to say, girl, it's okay. I get it. I understand. I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about. But let me tell you how to get over on the other side. You have to build that confidence back up. You have to look yourself in the mirror. That's one of the exercises that I always tell most of my clients is to look yourself in the mirror and to tell yourself the truth. The first thing is to tell yourself the truth, whether you have to say, girl, you messed up. Ah, you made some bad choices. Or to say to yourself, it's okay. That happened to you, but you can get back up on your feet. You can make a difference in your life. You can be an example for others. You may end up being a mentor to someone else that may need your help along their journey. And then after you have built up that rapport with yourself, because I've understood all of my adult life is you got to cheer for yourself louder than anybody else. You have to be your biggest supporter because it starts in the mind. It starts in your mindset for you to encourage yourself to get up. Get up from that place of depression. Get up from that place of feeling lonely. That's something else to talk about. The loneliness that you feel on the journey. Loneliness creeps in when you feel as though, now what do I do? I'm all alone in this situation. And maybe some of your close friends have not experienced what you're dealing with. So who can you really turn to? Who can you really turn to? The only thing you can do is, if you're a believer, put your trust in God and then get yourself up and say, I'm going to get up today. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to put my clothes on. I'm going to put my makeup on, my lashes, whatever it is, to make yourself feel better, to encourage yourself. Then you have to ponder the thought. Now, I'm kind of like segueing. I'm still in the first part of this all, okay? I'm still on number one, but it's like subcategories under it. Having the confidence, building yourself up, beginning to love yourself again is so important on this journey. I had to do that. I had to say, no matter what size I was, no matter what anyone else thought, I had to encourage myself and say, you're beautiful on the inside and out. You may have gone through some things, but yet you still can come back from this. And you have come back from this. I have shifted my life because of this. And I want to be the one that go back and pull up some of my beautiful sisters out there who may be experiencing that. Because when it first hits you, when you find yourself in that position, you just kind of you're lost for words. Your mindset shifts and your thoughts begin to be fleeting because you just have literally no clue on what you're gonna do. But confidence is key. That's the first thing. You got to build your confidence back up. And then what comes after that? Well, just like I had to deal with my traumas. I had to face reality that I really was hurt by it. It really did emotionally scar me. And you may have some emotional scars too. May have felt rejected if you were married. You may feel lost if you lost a loved one or you lost your job. There's that feeling, that sense of abandonment, hurt, maybe even some shame or guilt about the decision that you made and things fell through for you. I know all about it. That's why I'm here to encourage my 50 plus women out there. Because I know if you're over 50, we thought we had things mapped out. But life takes turns and it's okay. But dealing with the traumas is once again, whether you have to get a piece of paper and jot down your emotions, get you a journal, write these things down to encourage yourself, write down what you're feeling. I always look at journaling as if it is my own personal therapist because with the therapist, it's private. It's something that is between you and that person. And having the opportunity to journal your feelings makes all the difference. You're dumping somewhere instead of imploding on the inside. Believe me, I understand how it feels in the place of not knowing who you can trust with your true, authentic self. And therefore, journaling is your escape in order to help heal from what was going on in your life externally. And trauma can change the way that you look at life. It reframes your thoughts. You may have been naive or real gullible in an area of your life. Yeah, I said the word gullible because for myself, I was a little bit gullible. I didn't think, oh, this couldn't happen to me. Have you ever felt like that? Oh, not me. I would never do that. Or this would never be my story. However, life did hit and some of it became my story. And it may be a part of your story. Yeah, you have to make peace with that as well. You have to face your traumas, face your fears, face your anxiety of now rebuilding your life again. Transformation is not always pretty. It's kind of ugly before it gets pretty. You have to go through the ugly cry. You have to metamorphose into a butterfly. It doesn't happen automatically. This is something that you must do internally. So, my thoughts and my suggestions to you is to release it. Release the fear of starting over. I was fearful when I had to take that journey. No one knew I was fearful, but I did it anyway. I did it afraid. I moved in silence. However, there was always that second guessing, but I put my trust in God. That's where my foundation, it became solid the more I depended on God to bring me through it, I was ready to take that journey because I had to give it all to God. I had to allow myself to be broken. And I know, no, it does not feel good, but you're so much better and you feel so much wiser as you go along this journey. So that was my number two. My number two was to go ahead and to just allow yourself to heal from all of the traumas that you had. Just allow yourself to just go into that place, take a deep dive into your hurt and pain, and move forward from it. Because that's the only way that you can do a great comeback in your life. You see, coming back from a fall like that, or coming back from something that you know that hurt you and rocked you to the core, it's the biggest, not even a revenge, but it's the biggest flex that you could possibly have, is to come back from all of those things. And not for anybody else, but for you, to encourage yourself, to build you up. It doesn't matter if you're starting over. It doesn't matter if you have to relocate, but you know in your heart of hearts that all of this is playing out and it's going to work for your good. And then I have number three. Hey, I already said it. You have to make peace with your past. Make peace with your past relationships, with some of the friendships that no longer serve you in this season of your life. I discovered as I changed, my surroundings changed. As I progressed, as I mentally and emotionally healed, those people that were around me at that time when I was hurt and I was broken, we didn't have anything in common any longer. They didn't have the capacity to hold what I was carrying because I started to build up myself on the inside and I became stronger. I became wiser and I became more, I would say I had more zeal to do things differently in my life. I had more zeal for life. I loved life. I wanted to live out loud. I didn't want to hide any longer. I wanted to be out there for the world to see. And that's the same thing with you. I want to encourage you that it doesn't matter where you are. Start today in your healing process because it's always going to be someone. It's just like when we get up from day to day and we go about our business and do the things that we need to do. Don't you know that every day someone is getting divorced, someone is losing a loved one, they may have lost their job, they may have some crazy thing happen in their lives. So when I talk about the word starting over or rebuilding your life, it doesn't matter. It happens to us all. But what makes the difference is how you come back from it. That's what I wanted to leave you with today, is how you come back from this. Will you come back from this strong? Will you come back from this knowing that, hey, you have confidence, that you have built yourself up? That is the biggest flex. The biggest flex for anyone around you that knew you when is to say, wow, she's changed. Wow. It's something different about that person. Oh my goodness. Did you hear about her? She did such and such. Did you? Wow. At 50 plus years old, she's still doing this, or she's graduating at 50 plus years old. She started a business at 50 plus years old. Yes. Over 50, you can do lots of things. And I want to encourage you that trust and believe you are capable of doing anything. You just got to have that comeback power. And so I want to say to you today, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you stayed this long, I guess that it was something that you really wanted to hear and that it was encouraging to you. But be so kind. Don't forget to hit that like button, and then share this with your good girlfriends because we all need to be encouraged. All right. And I'll see you next time. All right. Y'all keep on rising and keep on healing.